This is the homework for 7.7. The homework assignment was numbers, page 466, number 1 through 8 all. I'm going to do 1 through 7 odd. All right, number 1 says the square root of negative 24. In the past, we've always known if there was a negative under the square root or any index that's even root would be not a real number. Well, now we're about to find out that not a real number means imaginary number. And what an imaginary number is you use I. And we learned today in class that I is equal to square root of negative 1. So this is the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 24. We know the square root of 1 is I. Let's see if we can break this down anymore. I've got 6 and 4, 3 and 2, and 2 and 2. So I know my I is going out front, and I need a repeat of 2 numbers because my index is 2 in order to go out front. So I'm taking a 2 out front, and 3 and 2 are going to stay inside. So I've got 2i square root of 6. And that's your answer. All right, number 3 says negative square root of negative 36. Okay, so I'm going to leave that negative out front. I'm going to split square root of negative 36 into the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 36. Keep this negative out front. You know the square root of negative 1 is I, and you know the square root of 36 is 6. So go ahead and multiply negative I times 6. And we usually put our number first, so it'll be negative 6i. Next, we have 8 times the square root of negative 63. All right, keep my 8 out front. I'm going to change the square root of negative 63 to the square root of 1 times the square root of 63. I'm sorry, the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 63. Keep your 8. Your square root of negative 1 is I. And square root of 63, well, we can break square root of 63 down to 7 and 9 to 3 and 3. So remember, you need the number to duplicate as many times as the index is. So 2 times in this case. So a 3 is going to go out front. A 7 is going to stay inside. I already have the 8i out front. So I'll multiply 8i by 3. You'll get 24i. And then under the square root, we're going to have a 7. All right, here we have negative square root of 54. So I keep my negative out front and go ahead and break up 54. 54 is 6 times 9. 6 is 3 times 2. And 9 is 3 times 3. So I can bring a 3 out front because it repeats twice. And I'm left with 3 times 2 on the inside. So I had a negative out front. I'm going to send a 3 out there to join that negative. And then inside my root, I'm going to have a 6. So it's negative 3 square root of 6. Notice there is no I in this one because there was no negative under the square root. Guys, have a great day. If you're watching this and you see this problem and you come and tell me that my dog's name is Cody, and you tell me in secret when no one else can hear you, then I will give you extra credit on the next test.